Lilat Badlands. Hey, this is what happens when you attach a Star Fox amiibo. When you duct tape a Star Fox amiibo to your fucking desktop. Real cool procedural generation there, dude. Don't know how I'm supposed to interact with this. This is some futuristic, like, levitating building shit. Like, I want to meet the architect who found the center of gravity for this thing. I literally cannot. How am I gonna get in there? Come on. Oh no. Shit. I'm gonna die if I fall again like that. Come on. Okay. Okay. Something tells me I'm not gonna be able to get into that. Cool waste of time. Real slick. Can I get into this door? Is that a door? Nope. Can't get into any of this shit. Okay, what do we got here? Some kind of altar? Knowledge stone, perhaps? You'll learn the Korvax word for traveler. You have learned the Korvax word for probability. Cool, we can start taking a math class. You have learned the Korvax word for please. We are now polite. And we can learn the legacy of Guy Fieri, basically. Alright, lay it on me, dude. I feel faint as if my mind is being invaded. Pustules on my skin grow, bubble and pop. Nice. Need some AccuView Oasis, and I feel countless tiny stabbing pinpricks scrapping from each gaping hole. Suddenly, metal spiders, perhaps tiny sentinels, run up my shoulder and into my visor. Can this be real? This cannot be real. Let's wait it out. You die. The hallucination fades. I have passed some sort of test. A reward materializes. Like $100? Korvax casing 1. Cool, we got a dead body. Just a little bit of a dead body. Let's go over there. They got a nice gold-looking boulder I think we're gonna steal. Cool, he gave us a carite sheet for some carbon. Good trade. Kind of like if you gave a guy like a Hostess cupcake and he gave you a big giant piece of sheet metal. What is specific number for the achievement to unlock? Ah, a giant green emerald. I can't wait to harvest this, to add this to my bank of materials. Oh shit, it was a space mirage. You know those famous space mirages? You know what, guys? I was gonna do this on another planet, but the other ones I found didn't have much life. So I'm gonna do it here on Martian Luther King Jr. Memorial Planet. What I'm gonna do is it might be a little freaky. I'm actually gonna name all of these creatures and animals after kids I went to school with in 3rd grade. basically, I don't know. I moved to Florida after living in Toronto for my entire life, and I always think that my life split into two paths, and a version of myself continued on in that direction, and I left a whole other life in Toronto. Who knows who I would have turned out to be? I could be dead. That's kind of the only way I can justify not obsessing over thinking about the potential me. I just have to accept that this current reality is the only one where I wasn't hit by a bus, or somehow the butterfly effect got me like stabbed to death or something grim like that. Anyways, on that note, we're gonna name each of these animals after a kid I went to school with in 3rd grade, just on the off chance. Dude, could you imagine if they... I almost wish I could rename this planet. Maybe I'll redo it again with another one. But could you imagine if you landed on one of these planets and every animal and plant was named after someone you knew? It would fucking freak you out. I think that's all I'm getting to. So this one, we're going to rename and upload. This guy I went to 3rd grade with, his name is... I'm just going to do whole names. I could be making up fake names for all you know. You don't know these people, but for authenticity's sake, these are all going to be real fucking names. Kian Tan. Went to school with this kid. Last time I saw him on Facebook, his profile picture was of him posing next to a plane he apparently knows how to fly and or owns. So, dude's doing okay. Who's next on the list? This one I'm going to name Samantha Brown. Wow, I'm actually kind of freaking myself out by doing this. Samantha Brown had a real crush on Samantha. Pre-K through 3rd grade, kind of like my first and in continuous crush. I kind of liked her throughout the whole time. One embarrassing story with Samantha, it was Valentine's Day on, I think I was in 3rd grade or 2nd grade, and I wrote on a red paper heart, I wrote, "I love Samantha." Just kind of like, not even planning to give it to her, I just had it written down and just looked at it. I thought, wow, that's what it would look like if I wrote this, and that's what it does look like because I did write it. I was probably just gonna throw it away, but I was walking to get picked up after school by my mom, and this kid, who I don't think I even knew, he like ripped the Valentine out of my hand and he read it out loud, and then this is like something out of a fucking TV show. I turned around and Samantha was standing right there with her friend. So she never mentioned it, probably because she was mortified. But yeah, what are you up to now, Samantha? What would have happened if I had never moved to Florida? We'd be fucking married right now? I doubt it. Who's next? You look like a Albert Sam. Albert was a kid who I don't know, he was my friend. He was just a kid. Actually, no interesting stories with Albert. Who knows what he's doing? He didn't wear glasses in 3rd grade. I think I saw him on Facebook a few years ago, and he did wear glasses. That's all I can say about that. Let's see. This dude I'm going to name after Connor Chan. Or was it Connor Chang? He had red hair. Very red hair. He had asthma. First kid I ever knew who had asthma. And a peanut allergy. He could only eat lunch in what was referred to as the quiet room. So he ate lunch by himself every single day of elementary school. Just on the off chance that somebody, it's no joke, like threw a peanut in his face and then he died. And he had a very intensive asthma inhaler that had to be assembled by the school nurse like a sniper rifle out of a steel briefcase. I think it was Chan. I actually added him on Facebook too a few years ago. I think now he is like a tennis instructor who smokes a lot of pot. That's kind of the impression I got from his picture. What was the picture of? He was holding a tennis racket at Wimbledon, and he had a giant doobie in his mouth. No, I don't know. I know he teaches tennis, though. Who else we got here? We got... Oh, they have genders. Oh. Non-uniform. Connor Chan, you are a non-uniform, volatile carnivore. Jamil Pirani was a cool kid. Maybe was it Piranil? I don't know. Who cares? Anyways, this dude, cool kid. Only memory I have of him is he did a book report in, I think, 2nd or 3rd grade or 1st grade or something about the novelization of Pokemon, the first movie. And he got a bad grade on it. And I just remember talking to him, and he was like, it was a good book, though. And I was a kid. I was like, fuck yeah, it was a good book. It was the novelization of the greatest movie I had ever seen at the time, Pokemon, capital T, lowercase h-e, the first movie. Jillian, don't know her last name. Jillian was, this is kind of a weird thing to say, I think the first Jewish person I ever knew. So it was like an episode of Rugrats where they explored Judaism, but in real life. I think I learned about a lot of like ethnic holidays from Rugrats. They had like the Maccabees, the Maccababies. Is that Judaism? They had the Kwanzaa episode. Christmas. That's pretty much it, actually. She was Jewish, and her dad worked at a zoo, or he owned a zoo, or he just had a basement full of exotic animals because he had an after-school program he hosted where he would bring in like creatures on loan from the zoo. I guess they worked it out with the school board. But I just remember he had a hedgehog once, and I was really scared to touch it because everything I knew about hedgehogs and cactuses, cacti, you touch it and you just get like a debilitating barb stuck in your hand. So I was terrified to pet this hedgehog, and I just remember he grabbed my hand and like forced it down to pet the hedgehog, to be like, dude, it's fine, you can touch a hedgehog. And I was just like, with all my little kid strength, like, I don't want to die. I don't want to touch this hedgehog and die. But you know what? It was A-okay. It was fine. Jillian, sorry I don't remember your last name. Oh, this dude reminds me of This dude, that animal reminds me of, there's this kid, Gorgax the Shadow King. I don't know how I fucking have never mentioned Gorgax. Dude's body was made out of pure darkness. He always had, he had like this, he was the first kid who really knew about Digimon. He kind of like brought Digimon to a school where everybody was into Pokemon. So he always had like the little belt clip Digivice that was like a pedometer and you could train your Digimon. And he had this sword that was made out of like pure antimatter. And that thing, he would swing it around and you'd hear these screams of like departed souls, I guess, or like enemies he had vanquished in previous lives. It was really like fucking freaky stuff. I think he had an Agumon. Maybe he was the first Jewish person I ever met. I don't know. Well, anyways, that little walk down memory lane netted me like 10,000 units in a fucking video game while I stand around and reminisce on my life. Let's see, I forgot which this one was. Who are you? Oh, you're a fucking new guy. Well, we gotta name you something too. Ronald. This kid Ronald, this kid was named Ronald in the mid 90s, mid to late 90s, almost at the height of a Ronald McDonald's mascot existence. He could not shake this nickname, Ronald McDonald, to save his life. And I don't think his last name was anything like McDonald. Possible. He was Chinese, so I don't know if that's like a common surname in that culture, but probably not. Is all I can guess. Ronald, who should I name this giant ass tree after? Probably somebody I don't like, right? Yeah, their ass kind of looks like a cleavage tree with devil horns. Interpret at your own risk. I feel the need to mention I liked all those guys. That wasn't like a form of bullying as he tries to fucking kill me. That was just me trying to connect with my former... Jesus Christ, Connor. Well, I really don't know any of those words. The electronic entity rapidly bombards me with words from what sounds like dozens of different languages, lapsing sounds. When it really realizes, I recognize none of them. The pattern of lights on its visor briefly resembles an eye roll, then it passes me another message from Nada and Polo and a vial of antimatter. I can use this to fabricate a warp cell. I try to convey thanks, but the being is disinterested in me. Its task complete. Take antimatter. I am no wiser as to who Nada and Polo are, but now I have the means to locate them. Though I strongly suspect that I must choose between finding... Fuck. Slow reader. Okay, so we charged the hyperdrive. We're back in space. And we're now capable of galactic travel. So we're really gonna be ditching Jane and the kids, like, at this point. Are you kidding? It's inevitable. We're kind of operating solely out of like living at the motel across the street from the gas station. All the spaceships look like Nerf guns. Like, what is this? We bought a super soaker. Should we do that thing where we take a selfie next to a car that's way nicer than ours? Convince people it belongs to us. I mean, this is a nice ship. It served us well, but it's a little beat up. It was a little beat up when we bought it too. That window, it sticks. You can barely roll it down. The other one, the handle broke off. We had to duct tape it back on. Why can't we have something like this? This looks like a remote control speedboat from Hot Wheels. Anyways, guys, I've been Daniel. This is superfungreat playing No Man's Sky. What did we do today? We got a little uncomfortable, or at least I did, walking down memory lane. Kind of feel like I desecrated my own memories by naming a bunch of random aliens after my childhood friends. We repaired our hyperdrive, so we can go fly and meet, I forget what the two aliens were called, Phil and Dolores or something? Who knows? But we'll go see them next time. This is like some kind of weird bug ship. That's kind of just like a paper towel holder, but yeah. See you next time, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. It means a lot, and yeah. Check in the next part.